All right. I think we're live right now. Let me just make sure that I go inside the group and make sure that, yeah, I'm live. I'm just going to wait for a couple of people to join in as well. Just make sure we're all set. So I see people joining in right now. Let me know in the comments if you hear me, you see me, you see. Oh, just make sure everything is okay on your side. It's taken a while, took summer off a little bit. So I haven't done many Facebook Lives inside this group. Let's wait in for people to join in as well. So let me know in the comments for those who, I see a bunch of people that are coming on live. Let me know in the comments if you guys hear me well, all is good on your side. Let me make sure all is prepared here as well, because we're gonna have a very interesting session today. Hi, Arturo, how are you? Arturo, I didn't forget you. You are one of the winners. So I just want to tell you ahead of time, you did win from my other group, the main session, the main giveaway for Build a Store in 21 days. So I'm going to be making an update soon and you shall be contacted. So again, thank you. Thank you, James. Excellent. I do see a couple of people also joining in the group last minute. So let me just be fair to everyone. Give it a minute or so for people. Let me know in the comments if this is your first time. Welcome. Let me know in the comments where you're watching us from. Always curious to see who's part of the group. Let me just save this. Perfect. James, yes, it's going to be recorded. This one might be left inside the group for a couple of days because this is not the typical live that I usually do. There is something that I'm announcing today, so I'm only going to keep it live maybe for a couple of days. But yes, it will be recorded for you to watch. But there is something happening that you don't want to miss out on. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware. Perfect. So I'm seeing already bunch of people here. I'm going to respect your time. I don't want to delay things. So I want to get started immediately because there's a lot to cover. And I want to make sure that you get the most value out of this. So again, thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Ala Hassan, the founder of eCommerce Training Academy and the host inside this group, Double My eCommerce Sales in 12 months. So it's been a very long time. I haven't done any Facebook Lives, literally, let's say, a good 2 months. So I was doing these more often only because it's a summertime right now. And from my experience, and I've mentioned that a couple of times in the group, during the summertime, people are just busy with family, friends, vacations, even though we are dealing with the pandemic still. There are restrictions. Nonetheless, I figured, you know what, let me tone it down. Let me let people enjoy their time with the family. And now, since tomorrow is September 1st, let me hop online, talk about one topic that you should be thinking about in the next coming months, especially if you already have an online store, which is sales and the holiday season. Now, obviously, with everything that's going around the world, the holiday season in e-commerce this year is going to be unpredictable. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen. Nonetheless, you have to be ready for it. So one thing I want to talk about is the struggle that a lot of people are having with sales in general. Some people have an online store already working, and you know what? They're having a hard time driving either traffic. It's not converting well. You know what? They're not getting the consistent orders constantly in their online store, and they're trying to figure things out on their own, trying to see what would happen. So here's the topic today. So I want to cover 3 things that usually cause a downturn or limited amount of sales that can occur inside your online store. And these 3 things are the following. So if you have an online store, and from my experience, I've seen these constantly repeat. Now, there are hundreds, possibly even more than hundreds, of reasons why you're not getting sales or you're not getting the right traffic. But for the purpose of this session, and I like to simplify things for those who know me, I've kind of always found that all these issues tend to fall into these 3 buckets. So number 1, if you're really struggling with sales and traffic, The first thing I'm going to tell you is product. Okay. There is a problem with your product. And when I say product, I mean the product itself, the physical item, but also the branding behind the product. Because nowadays, let's face it, it's hard to differentiate yourself when you're going out there in the market. There are so many products out there that people are already selling, they're having success with. And if you look at Amazon.com, there are hundreds of millions and thousands of products that are already selling there. So it's very hard for you to differentiate yourself. But most of the time, whenever I start working with someone or whenever someone reaches out to ask me, how can I increase sales? I really focus on this area, the product itself. What's so special about your product? So I refer to this as your value proposition. Why should I buy your product and not the one from the competition, or not the one from the competitor out there that could be selling it online or offline? And most of the time, I see there is some lack of research, some lack of effort put into making sure that you differentiate yourself out there. So when it's sometimes hard for you to differentiate yourself, especially when you're dealing with a product that, I'm not asking you to invent something from scratch. But if you look at an item that you're selling, why would people buy it from you? Is it because it's the lowest price? If you're playing the lowest price game, it's not easy to succeed. I mean, there are big players out there that are doing this, and your margins are going to be limited, and it's just the race to the bottom. But are people buying it because you have a patent on it? Are people buying it because it's better than what's out there? What is the reason that people will buy your product and not the one from the competition? And from my experience, if you're just selling another similar product, you're going to have a hard time keeping people on the website or grabbing their attention, especially if these products are also available on Amazon. So when I talk about product, I'm not only talking about the features of the product. I'm talking about the product itself, with the features of it, the benefits, how it's made, the packaging, who's making it, the people behind it, the brand behind it. Maybe you have a special cause that you're supporting. It could be all sorts of things that enable you to differentiate yourself from everyone out there in the market. If you're selling a shirt, for example, there are shirts everywhere online. So many brands in the fashion category. But people might buy your shirt because of the material that's being used, how it's created, how it's manufactured. Maybe it's a sustainable manufacturing process that you have in place. You could be donating 10% to a mental health organization from every sale of a t-shirt. How is it differentiating itself from every other product out there? So when you start advertising your product, whether it's on Facebook, on Google, or anywhere else on the internet, you're not going out there with just buy my shirt. You're going out there with the benefits and what makes it unique so that you grab people's attention. But again, I go back to one of the biggest reasons why people struggle with sales is because they simply don't have the right product at the right price, targeting the right audience. So a lot of times I see people, especially in the last couple of months, we've seen so many people talk about e-commerce. Great, it's a popular industry, and we're happy that it is the case. But so many people are jumping into this category thinking that if I find any type of product out there, I launch an online store, I'm going to succeed. Only to realize that this is not the case. Not only is it very hard to get noticed, it is very costly nowadays, especially with Facebook ads, Google ads. All of the advertising platforms are going up in costs. So you really need to go out there, position yourself differently in the market to ensure that you get some sort of traction. So my first tip to you here today is to really spend some time figuring out what are the benefits of your product and the features, and how does it differentiate from every other product in the industry. So do a search on your competitors on Google, do a search on Amazon, do a search on eBay, see what people are buying. Again, use even social media like Instagram and Pinterest. They have amazing visual search engines that you could use to your advantage to see what are people buying or what is gaining people's attention online. And if I am selling this shirt and the competitor could be locally, it could be in your own country, in your own state, or other countries besides you, why is it that people are buying their shirts and not mine? And do your research about every single competitor. You're not there to obsess about the competitor, but really learn about how they're going about differentiating themselves on the product page. How are they describing these products? What kind of copy, what kind of language are they using when they're describing this product? What kind of advertising are they doing on Facebook? I mean, I've done videos inside the Academy where you can spy on your competitors' Facebook ads. Take a moment to watch these things and learn from what's happening around you. Because a lot of times, the biggest issue that I see is the product is the problem. But people in the end increase their advertising budget. They start spending more on Facebook. They spend more on Google. They don't fix their website, thinking that the more traffic I'm going to get, that's when it's going to sell. Yet, the root of the problem could be this right here. But you haven't put some thought into it. And if you have, maybe you haven't put enough time or research into looking at the competitors within your category. Pay attention to them. So again, simple things like go to their websites, sign up to their email newsletters, look at their Facebook ads, see how they're differentiating themselves, what kind of copy, creative videos, images are they using to grab the attention of the target audience that you are also targeting. So this is the first thing I would tell you is the biggest problem. If you guys have any questions, by the way, do put them inside the Facebook comments. I'm going to reply to them towards the end. But I want to make sure that I cover the three things so that later on I go through that. The second thing that I see people having to deal with when it comes to struggling with sales is the experience. What do I mean by experience? I'm talking about your website. There's a lot of parts to your website, obviously. It could be the platform. The website could be slow, it's not mobile friendly, your template sucks, your product page is not well designed, your homepage is lacking a lot of elements, your navigation is not good, your branding is not well communicated, your value proposition is not visible, you might be dealing with certain glitches on the website, your search is not working, you name it. There could be hundreds, if not thousands of problems on your website that could potentially impact the experience. Now, when I talk about experience, it's not only on your website, but also with everything else that you have to support a sale. For example, live chat may not be present. Your customer service is not responding to emails on time. Your product pages don't have frequently asked questions so people can find answers to their most common questions about your products or your business. You're not clearly defining what is the shipping cost, what are the fees, what's your returns policy, when is customer service open, if I send you an email, when can I expect you to reply to me? And so on and so forth. All of these things are part of the experience. But wait, what happens after people decide to purchase your product? How is the checkout process? What if somebody forgets something in their cart? Do you email them abandoned carts? Are you retargeting them? Are you trying to get them back to the website? What happens after they make the purchase? What emails do you send? Do you keep them up to date on as to when is delivery going to be? But when is the product going to be delivered to them? What kind of emails are you sending them? What happens 30 days after they receive the item? What happens when the product is delayed and so on and so on? And I could go on and on and on. Not to forget, what happens if shipping issues are being dealt with? Remember, in the last couple of months, we've been dealing with lots of delays when it comes to delivery, supply chain, your inventory is not available. All these things are playing a role in the experience. When I talk about experience, I'm not talking just about your website. It's everything. Everything that supports a shopping experience. And we're talking about technology, we're talking about people, we're talking about content, we're talking about every single thing. So a lot of times, again, I go back to this. We obsess over traffic. We want more traffic to get more sales. But we're ignoring one of the key elements when it comes to the experience: conversion rates, average order values. These are critical KPIs. These are things that you have, metrics that you have to keep track of. But has nothing to do, all of these two things have nothing to do with traffic. So why obsess about wanting more traffic if you haven't fixed what's wrong with your product or what's wrong with your website or what's wrong with your operation before going out there and spending more money on driving traffic? Again, short term, yes, that might be a resolution for you to spend more money to drive traffic, but in the long term, you're going to get affected by these two things because you're going to notice that people are simply coming to your website. If the website is not meeting their expectations, your bounce rates are skyrocketing. So average industry is about 50%. You might be at 70, 80, 90%, 95%. So people, when you're spending all this money to drive them to the website, they're just leaving you because the website is not, the experience is not meeting their expectations. So again, before obsessing about just getting more sales, figure out which parts of the experience could be improved so that people can obviously convert in the end. So things I look at here, you have tools like Hotjar, H-O-T, hotjar.com. Hotjar.com allows you to see why are people behaving in certain ways on the website. So when people ask me, well, what are some of the tools? I'll tell you right now. One of the tools I always make sure that is installed properly is Google Analytics. Make sure that everything is properly installed, because a lot of times people have no idea even what is their login information. So Google Analytics has to be installed. The part of Google Analytics that you're going to get from it is what? What are people doing on your website? What are they browsing? What are they looking at? What are they interacting with? Okay, so Google Analytics, GA, gives you the what. When you look at Hotjar, it's a visual analytic tool. So Hotjar is going to give you the why. Why are people behaving a certain way on your product page? So let's say, for example, you start noticing that you're driving traffic from Facebook on a specific product. And later on, you notice in Google Analytics that traffic on this page is bouncing. 70, 80, 90% of people, as soon as they come, within a couple of seconds, they bounce. Well, now you know what's happening. People are bouncing. Why are they bouncing? What's happening? What are they doing? How far are they scrolling? Are they tapping anywhere? Are they going down? Or what's going on? So then that's when you install a tool like Hotjar to understand why are they behaving in a specific way. Could it be that your website is not working within a specific device? Obviously, there are so many devices out there nowadays that potentially there could be something wrong with an iPhone or a Safari browser or Chrome browser, you name it. So having these two tools is going to truly help you understand what's happening with the experience. And my third tip when it comes to improving the experience, take a moment to listen to your customers. Who do they contact? Customer service. So look at your chat transcripts. What are people asking questions about? What are they complaining about? What are some of their concerns? You can even use Hotjar to ask these small little pop-up questions that show up on product pages, category pages. Try to gather all of this information from the users that are currently on the website to see if there are certain parts of your experience that could be improved. Again, just looking at Hotjar, GA, and customer service, you can easily improve so many different parts of the experience that you never thought were creating friction or had some sort of bottleneck that existed in the funnel. So really, when I look at this here, immediately, by you just focusing on these two areas, product and price, you'll notice that you've uncovered a lot of things that could be improved on the website that can potentially improve conversions, increase average order values, and overall sales. All right. Number 3, one of the main reasons why you're not getting sales, you're struggling with getting more sales, is what? Traffic. I haven't used a whiteboard for a very long time, so getting used to this. So sorry for the handwriting. I lost my handwriting because of how much I type for a living. So number 3 is traffic. Now, there could be a couple of reasons that traffic is not working in your favor. One of them could be that the quality of the traffic is, first, before the quality, let's talk about the quantity. The quantity of traffic is just not there. You're just getting 10, 100, 150 people a day. Maybe that's not enough. When you think about it, think about it this way. Right now, the average conversion rate for e-commerce is hovering between, let's say, 1.5 to 2.5, sometimes 3. Where should you be at? The higher, the better. Doesn't matter. A conversion rate should always be improving. It's not about 1.5 or that. You just want to always be improving it. But let's say, for example, right now, for the argument's sake and to make things easy, 2% of people on your website convert, which is a reasonable conversion rate. So if you're sending 100 people to the website, well, that's 2 people that are going to convert. If you're sending only 50, 1 person is going to convert. So the more traffic you send, it increases the chances that it will convert. So quantity matters a lot. Number 2, the quality of this traffic. Traffic does not pay bills. The quality of this traffic, conversions, and the profit margins and the profitability of the business is what pays the bills. But again, I don't want, sometimes people obsess over, oh yeah, I'm getting 1,000 people a day. Great. What's the conversion rate of those 1,000? How many people bought out of those 1,000 people? So when you look at conversion rates, the quality of this traffic matters. Because if I go out there and you sell shirts for men, and I'm sending you mothers who are looking for shirts for their babies or their toddlers, guess what? You're not selling any. You could be getting thousands of mothers to your website, but you're targeting the wrong audience. So the quality of the audience matters a lot when it comes to getting those sales. So a lot of times people, again, they're not going inside Google Analytics. They're not looking at their advertising campaigns to see exactly who is it that they're targeting and who is it that is engaging with their content. They're just looking at, sometimes they don't even know how many people are visiting their website. So all these numbers have to be taken into account when you look at your sales. You can't just look at your business and say to yourself, well, my store is just not selling. I'm selling only $1,000 a month. This is not working. It's a numbers game. How much traffic are you getting? What's the conversion rate? What's the average order value? When you're running these ads on Facebook and Google, what are you advertising? Who are you targeting? What kind of campaign, what type of a copy or creative are you using? All of these things matter when it comes to the success of your online store. But again, people obsess over traffic, and yet when they obsess over traffic, they're not getting enough because it is costly. They're not getting the right quality. And the main other thing that why traffic sometimes sucks is because they're only relying on one specific channel. Let me explain. Nowadays, whenever somebody talks about e-commerce, or anybody who talks about e-commerce success, they talk about drop shipping. Let me show you how to launch an online store on Shopify. And the first thing they focus on is Facebook ads. Nothing wrong with this. Facebook ads are great if you do it right, if you spend enough, if you test enough for a very long time, and you install the Facebook pixel in the right way, you will get great results if you know what you're doing. Now, the problem is when you start focusing on driving traffic, if you solely focus on Facebook ads, you're missing out on everything else. You're missing out on Google ads. You're missing out on organic, so people coming in from Google search. You're missing out on potentially email traffic. You're missing out on referral traffic, influencer marketing traffic. You could be missing out on creating content, so it ranks really well on SEO so that people can find you, can find your blogs when they come to your website, and the list goes on. There are numerous ways for you to drive traffic. But when you're struggling with sales, look at your traffic sources. Where are people coming from? Think about it this way. If I am only doing Facebook ads, again, nothing wrong with it. But when you're on Facebook, you're not literally searching for a product. Your intent to purchase is somewhat not there, but you're being interrupted constantly by targeted Facebook ads from either brands, retailers, you name it, or software companies. When you go to Google, you have a specific intent. You don't go to Google to just look at that text box on the homepage of Google. You're there to search something. So there's a high intent of what it is that you're looking for. So, and depending on what it is that you're looking for, Google is going to show you relevant ads. So for example, if I am searching for shoes, I might find just regular ads that are from very known brands out there that sell shoes, Zappos.com, for example, okay, or Amazon.com. And then as soon as I start searching for a specific brand, Nike shoes, then I might start seeing ads from Nike.com or specific collections, the Air Jordan collection, for example, from Nike. It's a little bit more specific. But when I'm looking for, and I'm not a shoe guy, so I'm looking for the last one I bought was like an Air Max. I can't remember even the model, but I'm looking for the Nike Jordan, I don't know, Air Max Blue men's. Then that is very, very specific. That's more, they call this the long tail. I'm adding a lot of search terms to my search phrase so I can find that specific product. And then you notice that Google is showing you products then, because your intent now is no longer just looking for shoes, you're looking for a specific model, design, or a specific brand or collection. They're going to show you shopping ads. So again, on Facebook, I'm not there to search for shoes, but I might like Nike Air Jordan shoes, and then I might start seeing these ads. So the simplest way of putting it together is this. People go to Google to find your business. You as a business, you go to Facebook to find your customers. You see the difference? And there are so many different channels out there. Pinterest is a search. People go there, they're searching, and sometimes they might see your products. Instagram, I'm just going through the feed. I'm looking for inspiration. I'm looking for entertainment, and potentially I can see your ads, but I'm not there sometimes searching. Yes, Instagram is improving. You are sometimes going in there, especially when you're in the explore category, you are searching. So the intent has improved over the years, especially nowadays, especially the fact that they've added the Instagram shop, and Facebook is actively improving the whole shopping experience. But I hope you understand what I'm talking about when I say intent-based type of traffic. So why are you only relying on one source of traffic when it comes to your online store? Diversify. Some people will say, well, Google costs a lot of money. Yeah, but keep testing. The whole idea is to test on all of these platforms, because the last thing you want is potentially one day you could be suspended on Facebook. And what are you going to do about this? The fact that you don't have Google running, and one day you could potentially be suspended on Facebook, or vice versa. I've been suspended on both. Well, I never had to worry because I always had at least 5 to 6, 7 different channels driving traffic. So what are these channels? Organic traffic, direct traffic, people that already recognize the brand. They don't no longer go to Facebook or Instagram or Google to search for me. Most probably they're just going to come to my website. We're talking about affiliate marketing, email marketing, display ads, paid search, Google ads, and so on and so forth. So many different channels out there for you to leverage so that you improve the quality of your traffic and you're no longer relying on just one source. So if you're struggling with sales, do an audit on all these 3 things. Product, what's so special about your product? Again, your value proposition. It should be visible on your homepage. Who you are, what you sell, and why should I buy your product and not the one from the competition? Look at the features, look at the benefits that you communicate on these products, and the price that you're selling it at. And obviously, the branding that you have behind it, from packaging to your story, your process, everything about your brand that supports this product. You're not out there to sell products. You're there to push a brand. That's where you should be focusing your efforts. People's needs change. One day you could be selling face masks. The other day you could be selling suits. One day you could be selling bags. Whatever it is, they're coming to you because of your brand, not the product. So again, when you look at the product here, make sure that the branding is key when it comes to differentiating yourself. Do some homework also. Again, I'm just recapping. Do some homework on what's out there. A quick search on Google. Make sure when you search on Google, you change your location to make sure that you are in the location that you're targeting. So if you're in Canada and you're selling to the US, make sure Google sees that you're in the US so that you see results as to what people see, because Google obviously delivers a unique experience for everyone. Look at the experience. What's happening on your website? Make sure you have Google Analytics so you understand what people are doing. Make sure you have Hotjar installed so you see why they're behaving in certain ways. And speak to your customer service team. You know what? Sometimes just having a meeting with your customer service team and ask them, what are the top 5 issues that customers keep bringing up again and again about our business, about our checkout, about a specific collection of products, or about a specific SKU. You'll be surprised what you find in there. And as soon as you gather all of this knowledge right here, start making changes to your website. And finally, traffic. The amount of traffic you're getting, is it enough? Because if you have a low conversion rate, it might not be enough. The quality of the traffic, well, sometimes you're targeting the wrong people, the wrong gender, demographics, psychographics, people that maybe are not thinking about buying your product. That's who you're targeting. Yeah, you're getting an amazing deal, cost per click or impressions, but guess what? They're not converting. So the quality does matter. And the source of this traffic, where are they coming from? And what are they clicking on when they come to your website? Is it intent-based traffic, or you're interrupting them and bringing them to the website because you had an interesting video, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's very important for you to evaluate that when it comes to understanding what kind of traffic you're driving to your online store. I'm going to check if everything is good. Let me know in the comments. Was this clear? Is there something that you would like me to revise or clarify even more? Was this useful also? Let me know. I'm always curious. Sometimes I go at it in the video, and I forgot to ask, like the video as well if you wanna. You're not the type of person to write something. But again, very simple things. And a lot of times when you go out there and learn about e-commerce, everyone is just overcomplicating things. Conversion rate optimization, Facebook ads masterclasses, and advanced stuff. Yes, there are advanced strategies. But before you focus on the latest thing that everyone else is doing, before you focus on what's the latest ad type or creative that Facebook is letting you do, or you want to get verified on Instagram, don't worry about this stuff. How many likes, how many, these are all vanity metrics. These are things that are just, you know what, you can get to them later on. Stick to the basics. 3 things: product, the experience, and traffic. Most of the problems that are happening in your business right now are related to these 3 things. Before you focus on TikTok and building your account and trying to figure out how should you dance in front of your phone and so you can grab the attention of teenagers or whoever it is, focus on the product, experience, and traffic. Why reinvent the wheel? Why focus on channels that are still being tested by so many brands? Let those big brands do the whole work right now to try to figure out what works and what doesn't. But at least be visible and be reachable across all channels. So when someone says, well, should I be doing TikTok? Should I be doing Instagram, IGTV, you name it, all these things, Snapchat? I say, you know what? It all depends. Every company is at a different stage. And it depends on your the resources that you have available, time, people, and so on, and these skills. But for the time being, if you have no time, nothing there, at least make sure that your company, your brand is visible and reachable on these platforms. Example, if you don't have an Instagram account, let's just assume that here, because you say, I don't have the time, I don't have someone to create content. Well, guess what? When people are buying your products, they could be easily tagging you within their post or their stories. At least be visible so that they can tag you or search you or click on you, and at least be reachable so that if somebody wants to visit your website from TikTok or visit whatever it is from all the other channels, you have an optimized profile that describes who you are, what's it called, an account profile name that is recognizable. You're using the same brand, the logo is there, so that you can easily have them message you or at least come visit your website. But again, I go back to the traffic. Focus on the ones that actually produce results before going crazy on the latest ones that are coming out that other brands are testing. Let them test until things settle in. Excellent. Thank you, Lulu. Felicitas. Great. So far, so good. So the idea behind all of this is the following. Over the last couple of months, I've been working. So in my last video, I mentioned that I'm about to launch my group coaching program where we do all this stuff. But I decided to delay it. This is one of the reasons why I'm coming online. If you were thinking about getting access to my group coaching program, it's not ready yet. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of changes that I've been doing to the program in the last couple of months. But instead, here's what I've been doing. In the last 2 months, I've been working one-on-one with only a handful of e-commerce stores. Some of them are established brands. Other ones have, they've been in business for a year or so. So they're either well off or they're just getting started, but they've been in business for a good year. They're not drop shippers, by the way, because I don't work with drop shippers. And in the last 2 months, we've been working closely one-on-one with these brands to help them, again, increase sales. But we're not just going at it from an advertising perspective. We're focusing on product. We're focusing on experience. We're focusing on traffic later on. And I'm seeing great success with some of these brands that today I want to share them with you. So I want to show you a couple of companies that are doing a really, really good job. And I'm going to go over the product, experience, and traffic within these brands. I'm not there also to share details as to what they're doing exactly or the numbers, but all of them are seeing an improvement. When we started working together in the last 2 months, they started getting better improvements when it comes to the overall product differentiating factor, as well as the experience. And now when we started sending traffic, things started working better for them. So let me just see how this works. Let me share screen. There we go. There we go. All right, so For those of you that are here, I want to go over 3 of the handful of clients that I'm working with in the last 2 months, testing out all sorts of e-commerce strategies. You have the first one, nathankong.com. So I'm going to share this inside the Facebook group so you guys have it. I would love you to see how amazing the website is. The second one is Lash Lab Pro. I'm going to go over each one as well to tell you exactly what is it that they sell. And the last one is Dewey's. All right, so what these brands, when they reached out, they wanted some help, obviously improve their online store. We're just focusing on their online store. And they weren't coming to me with just, we want more traffic. They came because they want to make sure they build a profitable online business. And so when we looked at the business itself, we started looking at different areas. Again, product, the experience, the traffic. We started cleaning up the website. So let's talk about Nathan Kong. Nathan Kong, if you look at the website, they sell masks, they sell men's fashion, suits, accessories, you name it. Very, very like an elegant brand, handmade product. But then you ask yourself, what's so special about these products? I like how they immediately differentiate themselves. They say it's a face mask with purpose. So what's nice about his products is the fact that every time they sell a mask, proceeds from the mask, 10% of it goes to a mental health organization. So they're not just selling masks. First of all, the product is unique. It's silk, it's handmade, it's washable, breathable. But what's nice about this is the story behind the brand. Every mask has a piece of art in front of it. And this is limited edition. Every mask, every art is a limited edition numbered. And when you order it from them, they send you a certificate even. But the idea behind it is every piece of art has been created by someone dealing with mental illness. So again, you're not just buying masks. You're buying a mask of high quality, something that is going to protect you. But at the same time, you're supporting a cause. So if Nathan Kong goes on Facebook and goes out there with the first caption in his Facebook ad saying, support mental health, you as a person who actually cares about this cause will grab your attention, and eventually you start learning more about the brand. But again, he didn't go out there selling masks, scarves, or everything else. He went out there brand first and the cause behind it. And now everyone is wearing his product, and celebrities, politicians, his experience is different. And he's getting even what's it called, PR attention from local news, as well as local news in Canada. So when we started working together, it wasn't just about, let me drive more traffic. How can we improve the experience? How can we communicate the story when people come on the website with a clear value proposition right here? How can we improve even the navigation here? This navigation did not look the same when we started working together. There's a whole section dedicated to the brand itself. Their story, reviews did not exist. We created that. When we looked at the collection right here, even the names of the collections had been changed, because I truly believe that your navigation menu shouldn't just be shop my store, shop my catalog. The navigation should follow a specific journey of your customers so that you take them by the hand and let them discover what your brand is all about. And if they're ready to look at your products, make it easy for people to immediately browse your collections. But again, as soon as you start browsing the website, everything speaks to you. You know, you're not just, I clicked on the wrong one. Let me go on face masks. When you go right here, optimizing your product pages for SEO with the right paragraph in there, the name of your category. When you start browsing the collections, reviews are visible. Notice how there's no mention of pricing. Again, we're talking about premium masks. You don't want to scare off people. All of these things were done when we talk about product and when we talk about the experience of the website. All of these things were not just luck. These things were thought of so that we follow what the user goes through. And then eventually when you click on a product, you have the whole product page that speaks to them. Limited edition, beautiful product imagery. A lot of money has been spent on creativity, lifestyle shots, you name it, videos, clear benefits, the most breathable and has the best effective filtration. It's not telling me exactly the specs. The specs are there,
but it's speaking to me as someone who cares. Handmade in Canada by local artisans, this reusable silk face mask is designed by a scientist. Is the most breathable, made with 2 layers, a pocket filter and nose wire, 100% natural fabric, washable, reusable, reversible, unisex, universal size. I mean, this thing is everything you would want in a mask. But why am I paying $50? The more I learn about the cause, every design is printed on silk layer. It's a limited edition numbered reproduction by a specific artist. 10% of the proceeds are donated to Les Impatients, which is a local mental illness organization, and so on and so forth. You guys just should watch also the CTV video that's right here. That explains everything. Yet, you have people that launch an e-commerce business and they want to sell masks, but they're just putting up a website on Shopify and a bunch of masks for sale. Well, guess what? Your value proposition is not there. Why should I buy your masks? I'm just going to go to Old Navy, or I'm going to go to the local pharmacy downstairs and I'm just going to buy the blue ones, and that's it. There's no story behind it. I bought one of those masks, not because he's a client, but when I saw the mask, I was like, wow, that's expensive. But then the more I learned about it, the more I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then I bought 2 because I wanted my wife to carry one. And now when I wear the mask, it always starts a discussion, a story. People are asking, curious, oh, that's a nice mask. Where was this from? What's the whole story behind it? So again, that's the whole idea behind this. But when I'm buying a mask like this, I'm having an impact on an organization that I truly believe in or a cause that I believe in. So the product, there was a lot of work put into it. And when you look at the brand, you're not just dealing with an online store, you're dealing with the whole brand here. You're not just selling masks. Right now we're talking about masks, but then you could have also suits, accessories, pocket squares, scarves, bow ties, you name it. So this is a client I've been working with in the last 2 months, and we're seeing tremendous results. Before obsessing about traffic, we fixed the way we communicate the product, we fixed the experience, and as soon as he got mentioned in the news, the conversions were there. Because the sources of friction were eliminated, bottlenecks were eliminated, and guess what? We haven't even started on focusing on advertising and traffic and spending lots of money on advertising. Nothing yet. So imagine how much can you improve in the next 2-3 months. Obviously, things take time. But again, it's not just about spending more money on ads, but maybe those 2 things are going to have an impact. Another example right here is Lash Lab Professional. I know nothing, by the way. So you notice how on one side, I'm helping this client sell masks and fashion. Here, I'm learning about lashes. And the last one, Dewey's, is home shoes, slippers. So all day long, it's all different products. So when you look at Lash Lab, when she came to me, again, the website was not really focused around the product. It was just a catalog of items. Go to the website just like any other lash supply store and just buy the products. Nothing more, nothing less. Images were not done properly. They were still lacking, the product was not well communicated so that eyelash technicians would really consider purchasing her products. Again, the value proposition was not visible. Premium lash supplies for professional eyelash technicians. Very specific. You know what you're here for. And the image supports the value proposition. And as soon as I scroll down, wow, female founded, high quality guaranteed, cruelty free, clean and safe material. All these things matter to who? The technicians that are going to work on the eyelashes on their clients and the clients themselves. The end consumer, who wouldn't want something safe and clean? Who wouldn't want to have quality lashes being put on, except me, but that's what I mean. But again, very clear value proposition right here. Easy way to browse the website, navigate, a clear view of who is the founder, who's behind the website, and other parts of the website that offer value, whether it's training or learning or whatever it might be. Even her navigation was not well structured. But then when we started doing some research about the product and understanding who that target audience was, that's when we started putting, you know what? No one knows you. So instead of putting shop immediately, why don't we just put an about page first? Let people learn about you. And instead of putting boring text, let's put a video there, a picture of you, pictures of you working. Showcase who's behind the brand, the credibility that's there. Showcase your expertise, because that's why people are buying your tweezers. They're not just buying because you sell tweezers. Then I want to learn more about why should I buy your product. Again, it goes back to value proposition. Why should I buy your product and not the one from the competition? Give a brief description of what it is. And then when I start browsing the catalog, you're not just throwing at me everything. You're categorizing things, new arrivals, bestsellers, by categories, and so on. And even the services and the training, because obviously a lot of times you're not just selling physical products, you could be selling services. How well are you putting that information in front? You guys should really consider following Lash Lab Professional, especially on Instagram. This is where her audience is. Instead of her overwhelming herself with so many different channels, she focused on one channel. Right now it's Instagram. That's it, that's fine. Yes, you can have other channels started setting up other channels to drive traffic, but focus on one channel, make the most out of it before you move on to other channels out there, especially when your resources are limited. But again, the reason why Nathan Kong or Lash Lab is having great success with all of the strategies that we're putting in place one-on-one is because they're taking action on things that have been proven to work. We're not testing out TikTok. This is not what this coaching is all about. It's really specific on strategies that actually work. And the last one is Dewey's. Dewey's is a unique pair of slippers because obviously people are home now and you're always walking around. Well, why don't you wear slippers sort of like shoes for inside and not outside? The nice thing about this is, again, the whole homepage was redesigned. This company raised money on Kickstarter, and that's how it started. And from there, they started investing in their website. And now we're redoing the whole website. And now it's just beautiful where the website speaks to you, whether it's their story, how they're made, where they're featured, and then you shop. Slippers reimagined for modern home life, made from plant-based and recycled materials. You're not just buying slippers. Immediately right here, you see how she's differentiating her product from all the thousands of slippers that are out there. Not only that, visually, all-day comfort, 100% vegan, female-founded and featured. Very easy description right here of what this product is all about. Benefits are really well laid out and communicated. And offer of the free shipping, free returns, visible, whether it's in the header or inside the homepage, and also a beautiful section to talk about the founder behind the brand. All of these things matter. This is all part of what? The experience. But as soon as you start looking at the product, a lot of companies, a lot of brands out there in e-commerce, all they do is they create a collections page and a product page. Yet, why don't you talk about your story? Tell me a little bit more about the brand. If you're not excited about your brand, why should I be excited about your product? So look at here the story, designed in Amsterdam, made in Portugal, the pictures, the whole process of how it's all started, where they came from and so on. And then how they're made. That's important. Why am I paying $100 and somewhat for a pair of slippers? Guess what? They're designed for comfort, premium sustainable materials, eco-friendly process. So all these things like leather made from apples, suede made from recycled polyester, lining made from recycled plastic, insoles made from cork, soles made from sugarcane, footbed made from coconut husk and natural latex. At a certain point, you're going to eat those slippers. That's how natural they are. But the idea there is she's not just selling slippers. She's telling you what's behind it, everything that differentiates these pair of slippers from everything else that's out there in the market. And that's how you focus on communicating your product. So again, all these things matter. And that's where even the social proof, where has this been featured across the web? Whether it's, Kickstarter, or all the magazines where they were mentioned, all of these things matter. So how do you go about communicating all of this? Or are you just putting shop now, click here, add to cart, checkout, that's it, that's all. Everyone else can do that. But people putting in the time to actually communicate their value proposition, all that, and deliver an experience that is totally unique from everyone out there, that's how you differentiate yourself. And look at this here. Beautiful imagery. Again, you're paying $145. All these things matter. And the causes it supports. So these things matter when it comes to getting better conversion. So if you're struggling with sales, it's not just traffic. It's not just experience. It's not just product. Because you could be having the best product, well-designed website with the right product being communicated with the beautiful images, the right copy and everything else. But if you don't have the traffic, then it's not working. All of these things work hand in hand. But you start somewhere. 1, 2, 3. You can start with 3,
but you're going to waste money because you're going to notice the experience needs help. Then you're going to start moving things around on your website only to realize your product sucks. That's why I always say, start with the product. Are you selling the right product before you obsess on traffic? So again, these are the three brands I've been working with in the last 2 months and a half almost, one-on-one. And this is how it works. We were doing, and this is the good news is I'm opening additional spots only from now until the end of the year, because I want more brands to test, or other e-commerce brands to test some of these strategies that I'm teaching and having them implement. So the way it works is as follows. Every month we conduct a bi-weekly one-on-one Zoom call. And depending on the size of the brand and how much time you need, these are things that we predefine. But during these calls, you will be able to ask me all sorts of questions about e-commerce. So then at least you get answers to certain challenges you're facing. But at the same time, I will get access to your Google Analytics and your Hotjar to see where are the missed opportunities. I'm actually going to be with you to see how can we improve the success of your online store. Not just by telling you, I think you should do this and you should do that. No, I'm going to look at your data, and we're going to start with the data first to see where are the missed opportunities. What are some of the low-hanging fruits that we can immediately take care of so that you start getting results while we work on the website, while we work on the product. Sometimes we just can't, we have to fix them, then you'll know ahead of time. Then that's the idea behind these bi-weekly Zoom calls. Some of them last half an hour, some of them 45, an hour and a half. There's a certain limit because every client has a specific amount. I don't go over it. We try to limit the coaching sessions. That's one of the main things. You also get access to a Slack channel, so you can privately message me. Each one-on-one client has a Slack channel where you can ask questions. And you also get access to a Trello board. Trello.com is a great way to manage all of the tasks. So that's where I assign you tasks, because let's be honest about something. If we work together for 1 month and I meet with you next month and I notice that you haven't done anything, guess what? It's not you who can decide. I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, we're not fit for each other. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking for results. I'm not looking just to tell you what to do if you're not going to do it. So I hold you accountable to see, okay, what did you do about the Facebook ads? What did you do about Google Analytics? And if you haven't done so, what was the reason? How can we solve this problem? You got to go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, and I guide you along the way. And that's how we work together. So again, all of this is part of the coaching. Now, if you're interested, all you have to do is submit an application. Okay, there's no pricing here, nothing. I need to know, because not everyone is fit for this. And there are possible multiple reasons. Let me just put this in the. Thank you, Lulu. I see that you just posted. Yeah, Lulu is the owner of Lash Lab Pro. So again, I wish I can share a lot of details. I just don't, out of respect to all the brands that I work with. I try to keep everything. Obviously, if they want me to share it, I'll share it in the future. But for now, we're really high level, showing you what it is. But in this form, if you're interested in getting these one-on-one coaching sessions, I'm opening 3 to 5 spots. Now, why 3 to 5 spots? Certain brands require more work than others, and I don't want to take on more clients. It's not about taking on more clients. I don't do one-on-one coaching. The reason why I'm doing it is because I'm preparing the program for my group coaching, which is called 8-Figure e-commerce. That's the end goal of this exercise. Now, a couple of things to consider. I don't work with drop shipping companies. So if you come to me that you just launched a website and it's a drop shipping website, sorry, I'm not your guy. I just don't do that. Second, if you sell a product that is not differentiating itself from everything out there, then I won't be able to work with you, because you are the product expert. I'm not. I'm just helping you communicate your differentiating elements and the factors that the way you differentiate yourself from everyone out there. I'm not here to help you find a product to sell online or change the product. This is not my expertise. My expertise is to take your product the way it is and help you sell more of it online. So if your product is not differentiated easily, then I'll tell you, I can't work with you. If you are not fully committed to this, meaning you are not doing this full time, you're doing a side hustle, and you're not willing to put in the time, you're not fit for this. This service is for someone who's doing this full time And that's the only way I will work with you, because there's a lot of work involved. So that's one thing to consider. If you have zero marketing and advertising budget, this is not for you. So some clients have $1,000 a month, and some of them have 10, and others have 50,000. And some of them have more than 50,000, more than even 100, 200,000 almost. So you need to have some money dedicated on a monthly basis. But again, it depends on the product. Sometimes I get excited because the product is unique, and I truly believe that you can get a lot of traction through organic growth in the beginning. And I want to guide, that's why I don't even share pricing on my services, because it's specific to each business. If you are a well-established brand, my pricing is different from someone who's just getting started and just launched the online store, but they have something unique. So all these things have to be taken into account. That's why in the application, you have to put in your name, email address. Phone number is only if I really we need to start talking and there's something of interest there. Website, URL, which country you're located in. Right now, I'm only mainly opening it to brands in USA and Canada, potentially in Europe. In other countries, it depends. So I would like to know which countries you're based out of. How would you currently describe your store? If you don't have a store yet, forget it. Like, honestly, this is not for you. It's meant for people who already have an online store. How do you operate the store? How big is your e-commerce team? How long has it been that you've been selling online? What is the range in terms of sales per month, and as well as the advertising budget per month? Even that could change. It's just, again, for me to understand where you're at, who handles your marketing, and what do you need the most help with? Again, take your time to fill out this form. If you just fill it out, again, I'm not looking 10 people, I'm 3 to 5. If I get 2, even better. I want brands that are serious about this, because I'm sharing with you 18 years of e-commerce experience, okay? I haven't built small little businesses. It's all 8-figure plus. It took me a couple of years from all the brands I've worked with. During the day, I work at an agency, so I'm still exposed 9 to 5 to all the brands out there to see what's working nowadays. I'm always testing even my knowledge with these brands. I've conducted over 250 calls on Clarity to help people in e-commerce, and I have one of the largest accounts in e-commerce on Clarity as well. So it's not something that I do just because I feel like it. This is something that I do all the time. During the day, I'm doing it with big brands, and at night, I'm doing it with the academy. Again, the purpose of this is not to sell one-on-one coaching. I don't like doing this at a large scale. It's a lot of work. But I'm doing this because I'm so passionate about it, about helping brands, but also it's a win-win situation where you're able to execute some of my strategies so that I see what works and what doesn't. And the best part is you're going to benefit from all of my experience and the experience that I'm getting through also working with all the brands out there. So if you're interested in this, again, the form is right there. All you have to do is fill out this form. I'm looking for people to start as soon as possible during this month, work with them hand in hand from now till the end of the year. And the hopes is to start promoting the 8-figure e-commerce towards the end of the year, because that's when we're going to start doing group coaching. So it's a lot more affordable, but it's made for people who actually have an online store and looking to sell and improve the sales online. And that's it. I actually respected the 1 hour exactly. So 7 to 8, and I'm very proud of myself. So again, are there any questions that you guys have about everything I've talked about today? Product, experience, traffic. I've shared with you some of the clients. Guys, check out their websites. They're beautiful. I highly recommend that you follow them. These guys are doing a really, really great job. Support them if you need lashes or you need masks or slippers at home. And if you have any questions and you don't want to put them up in the comments, you can reach out to me directly through Facebook, send me a message, or hello@eCommerce Training Academy, hello@ecommercetrainingacademy.com. I'll be available to answer some of your questions. Let me look at the comments to see if, yeah, Lulu is saying, yes, there is a lot of work to do. Yes, this is not easy. We're achieving success online. It's not sit at the beach, run Facebook ads. I'm helping you build a brand. I'm helping you build an actual profitable business.
and I push you just like a trainer at the gym. We don't just leave you there. We look at the numbers. We look at the analytics. We look at the user behavior. We try to see what's working, what's not working. I tell you what to do, but you need to be resourceful. You need to find the people. You need to work with your staff. Have your staff on these calls. That's the best thing about this is when I do the coaching calls, whether it's a mother, whether it's a wife, a husband, a couple, it could be you and your employees, whatever might be the situation, we make the time available to speak to everyone else on your team, to have these coaching calls and be productive. Everything is managed online. It's all virtual, and that's the best part. Let me see if there are any questions. What channels should I focus on first? Google Ads, Facebook ads, SEO, etc. Arturo, it really depends. As you know, it all depends on, first of all, your capacity. What are the resources? So when you look at advertising or the channels where you want to, drive traffic, it depends on either what is your organic budget and what is your paid budget. This is where you're going to put your efforts. So paid is FB, Facebook, Google, all the paid advertising channels. That's where you're going to put the money. And organic is really creating content, using email to communicate. These are the other organic channels. There's a lot. I made videos about this. So where should you focus your efforts? It depends on your goals. If you tell me you have $5,000 a month, then your plan is different from someone who says I have $25,000 a month to spend. So it really depends. My idea is start focusing on areas that you are capable of handling yourself with ease. You don't rely on others, things that you enjoy, things that, for example, in Lulu's situation, Lash Lab, she's really good at Instagram. So before doing email, before doing everything, continue what's working. And then while you're working on Instagram, for example, start sending out your emails, start advertising on Facebook. So every situation is different. And that's the whole point of the coaching is we sit down, we go over these things. But overall, that's the approach I would take in this situation. I hope that answers your question. You're welcome, Hiba. Glad you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments for those who are still here on the call. Please let me know in the comments, was this useful? Again, I wanted to make sure I start with the process. I wanted you to get the value out there. I'm not here just to sell you on something, more of I'm actually asking for help to find brands that are willing to go through this one-on-one coaching because this could be really, really beneficial for some of you out there. Excellent, Arturo. Glad it answers your question. All right, I don't see any more questions and I want to respect everyone's time. So I want to just double check. Sunny, you're welcome. Thanks again for always attending these sessions. I really appreciate your support. You're always there, so thank you. All right, I don't see any more questions. Thank you very much once again for attending this Facebook Live. I will leave this video up for a couple of days for anyone to go through it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me through social media. I'm active on Instagram, Facebook. Send me an email at hello@ecommercetrainingacademy.com. And if you're interested in this program, please make sure to fill out the form. I'm going to be waiting a couple of days. As soon as I have the amount of people, I'm just going to close it. I will announce everything as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.